Hi, this is section 4.4, and we are graphing linear equations with in slope-intercept form. Okay, so the first two key ideas are the x-intercept and the y-intercept. And the x-intercept is when your graph goes through your x-axis. So right there. And when that happens, your y is 0. Your y-intercept is where your graph crosses the y-axis. So that is this point right there. And at that point, your x is equal to 0. The term slope-intercept form is something you're going to be hearing more about next year in algebra. And it's just the format that the equation is written in. So it's y equals mx plus b. M is your slope, so that's going to be the number of whatever your slope is. And your b is your y-intercept. And that's, where your graph intercept, and that's where your graph crosses your y-axis. So number one, identify slopes and y-intercepts. So when you're looking at an equation, like letter A right here, as long as it's written in slope-intercept form like that is, y equals mx plus b, or you have a minus there, it can be plus or minus, then you can just look at the number in front of your x. In this case, it's -4. That is your slope. And whatever you're adding or subtracting from x, that is your y-intercept. So your y-intercept is -2. And they have that right there for you. The slope is -4. The y-intercept is -2. So you don't even have to do any work. It's just to know where to look to find it. If you look at letter B, that is not written in slope-intercept form. You can see that -5 is there. And we want just y on that side. So we're going to move that 5 to the other side. So we have to undo what's being done. So we're going to add 5 to both sides. And when I add 5 to both sides, I get y equals 3/2 x plus 5. So now I can look and see, okay, 3/2 is in front of my x. That's my slope. A +5, I'm adding 5, so a +5 is my y-intercept. Okay, so I would like for you to stop the video and try to do 1 and 2 on your own. All right, welcome back. Let's go ahead and check and see how you did. Number 1, your slope is going to be 3. And your y-intercept is going to be -7. On number 2, we're going to add 1 to both sides. So you have y equals -2/3 x plus 1. So -2/3 is your slope, and 1 is your y-intercept. And I forgot to tell you, that was on page 168 if you wanted to follow along in your book. Or you can just follow along with the video, that's fine. Example 2 then is graphing. We don't have to make tables anymore and plug numbers in for x to figure out what y is. We can use our slope and our y-intercept now that we know where to find those. So what you want to do, here's, it says graph y equals -3x plus 3. Identify the x-intercept. So the first thing you want to do is look at your y-intercept. It is 3. So I'm going to go to my y-axis up to 3 here and put a dot, and they do that. And then my slope is -3. So remember, a negative slope, one of your numbers has to move in your in a negative direction. So -3 is like -3/1. And when you're dealing with a graph like this, remember a movement up or to the right, those are positive movements, and down or to the left are negative movements, okay? So I'm going to go down 3, that's a negative movement, and to the right 1, that's a positive movement. So that would be a -3. So one has to be positive, one has to be negative. And then I can just connect that point to the point I plotted for the y-intercept, and that is my line. And we can see then that the graph crosses the x-axis at 1. So the x-intercept is 1. Okay, let's, I don't think we did the real life application. But what I would like for you to do is to graph the linear equation and identify the x-intercept. So stop the video now, and you just have to do 3 and 4, and that's it. You don't have to do 5. Okay, welcome back. I was just gonna see here if... Oh, nope. Okay. So let's go ahead. I'm not gonna graph these for you, but we are gonna talk about what the what it should look like. So on number 3, one of your dots, I'll just kind of draw a little bit. So your y-intercept is -4. So down here at -4, you should have a dot, and your slope is 1. So you should go up 1 square to the right 1 square, put a dot. Up 1 square to the right 1 square, put a dot. Up 1 square to the right 1 square, put a dot. Okay, so, and then go ahead and connect your points. So it should look something, it should go up in that fashion. And then your x-intercept, I believe should be at 4. And number 4, I'll just kind of do a little sketch. Your 1 is your y-intercept, and your slope is a positive or -1/2. So I would go down 1 to the right 2, put a dot, down 1 to the right 2, put a dot, and you can connect those points. So it should be like in a, whoa, that was craziness. Hold on. So it should be like in a downward motion, kind of like that. And so let's see, if it's at 1, you're going to go down 1 over 2. So I believe your x-intercept is going to be at 2. I could be wrong, but I think that's right. If I'm wrong, then come tell me. Anyway, so that is all you need to know about graphing using slope-intercept form. You just have to make sure that your equation is in slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b, and you have to know that the number before x is your slope, and the number that you're adding or subtracting from x is your y-intercept. Thank you.